Good morning, Tuesday the 5th. Crikey. Tuesday the 5th of May. This is the 8 a.m. movement snack. Just to be clear, date stamp Tuesday the 5th of May. If this is the snack that you're after, we'll get going in about 4.5 minutes. If you are watching on catch up, you have the luxury of deleting this bit, sliding it on about 4 minutes to get straight to the snack. But for now, welcoming in the movement snackers. Jane is in, which means Manchester is in. I think I saw Janet, which means Lincolnshire is in. Wales is here. Not doing bad so far on the UK locator map. Morning. Welcome to the preamble that we've become to know and love, ? Not too sure about that, it's a bit strong, probably. Hello George, hello Jane, come on in. Bit chilly here in Havant. I'll just get that first weather report out there. Feel free to help me out with this preamble, you know how it goes. Share, me and you. Thank you, Jane. Sunny in Manchester. Send sun down here. Yes, come on in. How's everyone after the antics of Star Wars Day yesterday? It was a constant source of amusement for me yesterday. And George, I can see your name on the screen, so thank you for your commitment. Your commitment to yesterday. And the picture that you sent me was incredible. Yeah, I didn't quite know what to make of it, if I'm honest. Hello, Carol. Morning, snackers. Carol from sunny Hove is in. Come on in, Hove. Any pyjama reports, please? Pyjama reporting, weather reporting, even some crowbar reporting. Have you been out and about already? Morning, Kim. Chilly here in Essex. Maddie's in. Windy in Dagenham. Margaret, Chesterfield. Excellent, come on in. Plenty of room. You might want to stand away from the door today, it's a bit drafty, especially if you're in your pyjamas. Don't want any of that uplift going on. Come on in. Dawn is in. I was just wondering about you, Dawn. And I'm guessing Bob has his usual buffering issues. Or buffering Bob, we'll call him. Gospel's given up on us. Don't know where Andy Scott is. Can never rely on him. Morning, Jane. That means London's in. Angela, stopped dreaming breakfast and you're in for the snack. Nice. Is that a sandwich emoji? Where did you find that? Deb's done a crowbarring report because she's done her washing already. And probably written another book. Bristol's in. All right, Francis. Sunny Dundee. Sundee is in. Hi, Susanna. And in jammies. Jammies in Sundee. That's okay. You know, I wear my socks for this morning one. That's why. It's just a nod to the fact. You're probably in your jammies and your PJs. So I can't really turn up in my PJs though. That would be wrong. Morning, Rita. Finland is in. Morning, Finland. Hello, Dublin. Good to see you, Vanda. I think we're on a 30-second countdown already. Crikey, that went quick. Oh, hang on a minute. George's got a bit of George crowbarring. He's done the bins. He's taken neighbours some food. Load. Bolton's here. That means we're ready to go, I reckon. 3, 2, 1. Good morning. My name is Bex Townley from Later Life Training still, and happy 7th anniversary to Make Movement Your Mission. 7 weeks, folks, today we started. So let's crack on with this first 10 minutes. The aim of the game is to accumulate additional movement minutes over and above anything else you're doing, and all the movements we do here to think about supporting parts and moving parts are then deployed into all of your activities to increase efficiency, reduce getting tired, and be able to do more of the stuff you like doing. Should we do it? Hello Alison, hello Sheila, hello Carol. Come on, first 10 minutes of the day. In the bag, let's do it. As always, pick your position. See, I've got my white socks against blue towel. It's all very technical here in Mum and Dad's dining room in this studio setup. Make sure you have some support at an appropriate height for you. And the first thing is the circulation booster. So this is the first minute or so of every one of our movement snacks. In standing, it will look something like this with rhythmical movements, steady march or walk on the spot. Continue with that if standing is your option. If seated is your position of preference, hit walk forward and starting the circulation boost either from the top end here with the arms or from the bottom end here with the feet. Pick your position and of course change between these two positions throughout all the movements. Once we've started to move, and then there's some prompts, there's some thoughts to further improve and enhance and optimise this movement. So with the feet ticking over there, boosting the circulation, let's think about the supporting part here, which is lengthen from the centre, so grow in this middle bit. This is where we increase the activity in the postural muscles and the support, lift and open the chest, butt relaxed. Now we have a strong supportive trunk above this moving part. Now we can focus on feet, toes and ankles, making the most of this movement. If you're going to be doing any standing activities on the feet today, you're going to need your feet, ankles and toes. So have a glance down to see that you really are getting the most out of this action. Ahead if you can, but glance down to check what's happening. And in sit, it's the same. If feet, ankles and toes are available, are a movement option for you, we want to find them. We want to make the most of them. If not, focus on this shoulder movement. We've got a bent arm here. It's rhythmical, it's controlled. And we're focusing on this backward press here. And this minute or so just serves to boost the circulation after at which point we'll probably need to take a deeper breath or a couple of deeper breaths. Shouldn't be exhausted, shouldn't be breathless. You control this circulation boost. The size of the movements will directly relate to how much effort is required. Moving on then, our mobility movement, starting with shoulders. In standing, set up the support, strong legs, external support if you need. Keep the length through the centre and starting with the backwards roll. Now, as always, this is where I say, take your time. The right pace is your pace. Feel your way through these movements. Like really feel them. Don't just go through the motions. Have a think about all the supporting parts and just be aware how much movement do you have here. We've got the lift, we've got the backward press, and we've got the down. If you're not feeling you're getting all of that range of motion, then come back a step and just go for the lift and the lower, see how that feels. And you might feel that you have more movement in one side than the other. This is usual also. The aim here, the beauty of this movement snack is that we just have time to feel. We're not warming up for an exercise session. We're not moving on very quickly to the next thing. After this movement snack, you can go around all these again, just see how that feels for you. Here's the next movement. So connected to the shoulders is the neck, which is connected to the head, which is quite important because it's got our eyes. So we get a lot of information from our eyes and from vision. Therefore, we need to be able to turn the head to move from side to side to see where we're going. Take your time, feel your way through this, all on this support structure, 3, 4 or 5 times in each direction. Any movement that turns the head, moves the head, may challenge your balance to a lesser or greater degree, so take up support for this one. Third movement in the top end, as it were, is this one, our head movement here. So The direction of the nose travel stays forward, and it's a backward press. Might feel like a small insignificant movement, greatly improves mobility in the neck, and the aim is to support the head in a better position, connected to neck, connected to shoulders, connected to arms. So activities of daily living can feel a bit easier, so we can do more without getting quite so tired. Affects balance, of course. So have a think about that one. Just before we move on to the trunk, the big support part of our posture, a little bit more on the circ boost and sit or stand, with or without arms, 1 or 2. I just want to layer in now on this circ boost, shift it to a small side, like a rhythmical small side step. Just a little bit, just a little bit. Keep it small, keep the hands on for support. If this movement you feel is making you think about your balance a little bit more, stay with the steady march. I don't want balance to be the focus here, but I do want to start to move around other hip movements for the circ boost. In sit, for that one, I would suggest some hip walking, some hip walking, some hip walking. It's quite hard to get a rhythmical side step comfortably in a chair. All right, trunk movements. We've got three key movements of the trunk we need in daily life. Let's have a look. In stand, so the support bit. We talk about the supporting part and the moving part. Can you see strong lower body is the support? Here's the moving part, the turn and return. And in here, I've got my hands on the table. I don't want balance challenged. The focus in this morning snack is mobility, and mobility means moving. So any turn of the head or the trunk may challenge balance, and especially for this one, if you come into a seated position, anchor the buttocks in the chair, keep the lift, you may discover you can feel you have a little bit more range of movement. And that's really the focus of this morning session. Head and eyes go with you. You can bring the hands with you if you want to. This is slow. Take out any pace, take out any momentum. Pause in the middle each time and just find your way around those turns. If you would like to, you can start to bring in a reach. You can see here how this relates to everyday life. Turning, reaching, grabbing, seat belts, all those things. Second movement of the trunk, this key support structure, is the side bends. In standing, slightly wider feet. In seated, again, slightly wider feet. Anchor the buttocks, sideways bend, and come straight back up again. All of these on this lifted, long posture. If you start to feel you're sagging and getting a bit squashed in the middle, take a pause. Have a rest, have a moment, and then rebuild that posture into that side bend, and just feel how that is for you. Is your weight even across your feet? Are your hips facing forward? Are you definitely only going sideways and back? And you should have the same level of comfort, shall we say, on the down and the up. I don't want you to go all the way down, and it keeps moving. Have a little bit of that, a little bit more arm, up a little bit taller for our third trunk movement. Back extensions, have a look. Balance as always, support as always, in sit or in stand. Upright is the first bit, and then an extra extend if you feel you can. Depending on how your posture is usually, you may feel that just coming upright is the end of your movement today. That might be the end point. So if you fairly flex generally and it feels quite effortful to come to here, that's the movement for you. If you feel you can squeeze a little bit more, go for that. Keep it moving, same in sit, hands on, lift and extend, and you might want to put the hand here as a guide, slowly in, slowly out. Keep the feet anchored. There should be no weight transfer here. It's all happening from the hips up. Which brings us to ankles. In standing, give yourself some support. The supporting part is closest to the external support. So the supporting part is also playing a key part in supporting, literally, the moving part. So the focus is the moving part, ankles and feet here, trying to get the toe where the heel is. Have a glance down, note that my foot stays slightly in front of my hip, and my hip and knees are involved in this. This relates to walking, yes? When I want to do the other leg, suggest we take a turn, so the support is all on this side, and here we are there. If you want to progress this, if you feel that you've already got the most out of this option, translate that ankle, foot, toe action into this functional step. That's why we're doing it. We want to be able to get up and go somewhere. So that generally means these actions are required. So feel your way, slow, controlled. Keep going with some of those. Seated options on ankles, feet and toe options, exactly the same. The difference in a chair is there's a lot more requirement of stuff here. So you might feel a bit squeezed. If you do feel a bit squeezed, because you might be tall or your chair might be short, or there may be a whole load of reasons why lifting that knee isn't the best movement for you, try this one. We can get ankles, feet and toes here, and get the toes going on this as well. If your intention, your goal is to improve standing work, really focus on these ankles, feet and toes. Obviously literally the foundations of all our standing work. If ankles, feet and toes aren't an option, this hip walk, this lift and shift, this mobility and this strength around this posture position as we walk in and out of chairs is critical for seated activities. So that's the focus if ankle, feet and toes aren't there. Okay, that's it. That's the movement snack done. All I now need to do is task you with some crowbarring activities. Could we, crowbarring, can we think about, we put in some side steps here. So sideways movements. Yesterday I talked about a knee bend in a slightly wider stance. So crowbar in some little knee bends, but start to bring in that side step action. Why do I want you to do this? Because this is everything about functional lifting. If we're going to lift stuff, we're going to need this wider knee bend activity with our hingy hips. And my phone is telling me I've got a low battery, so I guess I should say goodbye. Thank you for the end of that movement snack. That's the first 10 minutes in the movement bag, benefits bag. Back at 12, midday, if you would like, here, I'll reserve you a table. I'll put out the menu, and I will, let's say, I won't forget today, tea towel and cushion, tea towel and cushion, tea towel and cushion. 12 o'clock, that's for me to remind me. Keep on crowbarring. See you at 12. Have a great day. Bye.